Hi there, and welcome to the I'll Try That podcast. This week, once again, we're not joined by Mr. Joseph Druitt because he is currently slacking with parental duties and other things like that. Basically, I can't believe he's putting his child in front of us too. But hey-ho, we move on. But I am joined by Mr. Matthew Barber. How are you, sir? Yes, that's it. Thanks. The enthusiasm I wanted.
I'm better now. I'm better for seeing you, sunshine. This is a result.
That's what I like. And I remember you telling me earlier you're going into a day off tomorrow.
I'm having a day off tomorrow.
Because
it's like my Friday. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, I'm also going into a week off. So as of tomorrow, I'm off for 7 days.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Oh, mate, we're having it large.
Lads on a Thursday night.
Love it.
I should probably... The beer. Oh, we're just having a nice time. We're just cheering each other on and having a go at Joe.
We can enjoy that for a while.
Yeah, I like that. I'll quickly introduce this. Then we'll have a bit of a conversation, I think. And we'll go from there.
And everyone can listen.
Yeah. So this week we are swinging down to my neck of the woods, Dorset way. And we're trying a beer that is very local to me, literally 30 minutes down the road, in a place called Swanage. And we are trying Hattie Brown's Dog on the Roof this week. Oh. I mainly picked this beer because of the dog. I'm not going to lie. We've all got dogs, so I was like, yes, why not? I think
there you go.
Yeah,
that's as good a reason as any. Yeah,
and that's what I thought as well.
Actually, that's before you do the next.
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
I should say. Well, unfortunately, I don't know if the listeners know that. Unfortunately, there was earlier this year that the number of us who had dogs went from 3 down to 2. I'm very sad to say. However, that was May time. There is now another I'll Try That pooch in the offing. Wesley, the Cocker Spaniel pup, who is not allowed upstairs into the recording room at this stage. But maybe at some point soon we might be able to have a little snap or a little snuffle on the microphone. But unofficial hello and welcome to Wesley.
I like that. You should probably stick a picture out on the I'll Try That Instagram, because all the other dogs have had their 5 minutes of fame on there. So you have to stick one up there now.
Okay. I see. Well, if we can get like 5 minutes of him behaving and not going absolutely bonkers like Cocker Spaniels tend to, then maybe we might get a nice picture of him up there. But
I like that.
That's as maybe or one for later on anyway.
So yeah, bit different with the hot topic was I did a chat with a good friend of mine who basically runs a sailing charity called the Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation. They've got centres all over the UK, but basically they have a big sailing race that happens every year called Bart's Bash. But they had that. Normally, we don't talk about sailing. That's another podcast we do for more middle class white people. That's the
one that
the real numbers.
That's the one that pulls in the real numbers.
the clueless sailors, we called it. But basically, they had a beer brewed for them by Heineken called Bart's Beer. Which was exclusively brewed for them, and part of the money donations go towards it. So I had a nice chat with my good friend Nathan. So I'm going to really stylishly put this in. So in 3, 2, 1.
You can tell from previously, I'm now seamlessly editing in this conversation I'm having with Nathan, who is the general manager at the Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation. Say hello, Nathan.
Hello, how are we doing?
And as I said earlier, we are here to discuss Bart's Beer, but of course a lot of you probably do not actually know what the Andrew Simpson Foundation is. So Nathan's going to give us a little spiel, a little bit of a lowdown, so we're just a bit more all in the know. Okay, Nathan, take it away.
So the Andrew Simpson Foundation was founded in 2014 after Andrew Simpson, or Bart as he was affectionately known by his friends, unfortunately passed away in a sailing accident whilst training for the America's Cup. His family and friends got together to found the Andrew Simpson Foundation. His family and friends got together to found the Andrew Simpson Foundation to make sailing more accessible and increase participation in the sport, which is something Bart himself was very, very passionate about. Our first fundraising event was Bart's Bash, which went into the Guinness Book of World Records for most sailing boats racing at the same time. This has carried on for the past 10 years now, And to date, we've had over 1,092 venues take part across 62 countries around the world. From the first event, we opened centres in Portland, Reading, Portsmouth and Birmingham to help transform lives through sailing. Everything we do is driven by the belief that all young people can excel in life and in work. We believe the challenges of sailing and water sports do this by promoting health and well-being whilst building essential life skills. These skills enable young people to progress through education and into work.
Winner. So yeah, that's a little bit about or the foundation itself. How many centres have you got again?
So it's 4 centres.
4 centres. So Nathan works down at the one in Portland, which is down here in Weymouth, which is how we met. Because I used to work next door.
As a way to again, just really help promote Andrew Simpson's legacy. Nothing better than after a long day out on the water, heading to the bar with the people you've been sailing with, and having something that is crisp and refreshing, and that's what bar is. Like, we're really pleased to be working with the Heineken company, and I'm drinking the beer now, and it's good stuff.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we're sipping on it now. It was so we actually had to. You can't buy it in shops or anything like that. So we had to go along. Or no, I did minimal of the work. I'm just drinking it. So Nathan had to go along to, what's the name of the venue again? Salt, is that it?
Yeah.
Salt, yeah. Which is down in Portland Harbour, and then had to get some of that in a I can't even pronounce the word. Insulated jug.
Yeah, that's
it.
it.
Insulated jug. Store it, then bring it over, and it's what we're sipping on at the moment. And I'm a recent convert to Heineken. I had to come back round to it because I wasn't their biggest fan of their normal stuff, but then they released Heineken Silver, which we drank a lot of over the festival season, so they were just hammering it on offer. But I'm enjoying Bart's beer.
No, it's good. I don't like something that's too hoppy. I definitely want something quite like smooth and refreshing, especially like long days out in the sun. It hits a spot for me, and definitively what I'm looking for. So, as Richard just said, you can't get the beer from shops. The only places you can get Bart's beer is through one of our other partnerships with Boatfolk, who run a lot of the harbours throughout the UK. Any bar that's run, or restaurant that's run by Boatfolk itself will be stocking Bart's beer. And the fantastic thing about this is every pint purchased, or half pint, a percentage of that sale goes towards the Andrew Simpson Foundation, which again, as I said, helps get young people out in the water that wouldn't normally have the opportunity to.
Which I think is great. We've drunk a few charity-based beers and everything like that, but one that's actually, it'll be nice to actually be able to see it go into action. Or I will be able to see it going to action, which is the main thing, because I still pop down there occasionally to show my face and everything like that. So I think the take home is, if you want to try this, Google the Boatfolk marinas, see if you've got one near you. If you're a bit landlocked, you might be a bit more strapped trying to find one of those marinas, but they once again, down at the Southampton Boat Show, they probably have it all stocked up there once a year, sort of thing. But if you do want to get involved with it, just Google Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation. You will find all the stuff. They've got loads of fantastic courses. I've had friends who have been on them. I've got friends who work for them. They're an absolutely fantastic organisation. If you can't do that, pop down to one of the marinas, find it. You're all going to go on holiday at some point to a seaside destination. I can guarantee there's probably a Boatfolk marina around there. So get in there. Try this exclusive beer, because it doesn't only taste good, you're also helping a charity, so you can kind of feel good drinking it as well. So when is the next Bart's Bash? When's the next big race?
So every Bart's Bash event is held about the middle of September, or over sort of the weekend. So we've just had our 10th anniversary Bart's Bash a few weeks ago, and again, fantastic event. We had over 200 boats racing at Portland. It's fantastic for any sort of large event to still reach out to so many people. 10 years after the first event was held, and there's not many other events where you would have former and current Olympians racing on the same course with people completely new to the sport. So absolutely it's worth coming down to it. We have music, we have art, we have Zumba at each of these festivals, and again, no better way to wrap that event up by having a few beers at the end of it.
Winner. Okay, well, thank you very much, Nathan, for coming in and joining. We're going to finish off these beers and probably have a couple more whilst we've got some in the fistulated jug. We're not going to go sailing because you have beer after you've been sailing.
Definitely
Always after. So, yeah. Cracking. All right. See you in a bit.
And now we're back after that lovely conversation with Nathan. As you can see, I'm going to stylishly edit that in, and it'll pretty much be flawless. Almost like Nathan is in the room with me, not me and him in his living room about 2 weeks ago.
Is it already done? That was seen.
Well, I've
gone all. That's given me the shivers.
Giving you this.
That's straightforward.
Little bit of podcasting wizardry there.
It's like a you know that bit where if you play in Tetris and there's like 4 blocks and you've just got one column with nothing in. It was like you just had that long, thin, 1 piece wide, 4 piece long bit just went and like slotted into that gap and then doom,
just all disappeared. Because as we know, I'm the best editor out of all three of us as well. So
you're the best at everything.
I know. What best beer drinker, best editor.
Because you're the best editor, when you then listen to episodes that Joe and I have edited, do you not just get this like pain having to listen to us doing it just not as well as you? Is that what happens? Just really irks me. I get really annoyed, and I've broken many phones just from throwing them on the ground in disgust. Just sat in an armchair going, "Oh, he really should have made that a little bit different." But
yeah,
let him off.
well, normally I'm listening with Rolling. He's just howling because he knows how bad the edit is.
Okay. Oh, Dad, you should have done this one.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. Well, good. That brings us roundly on to while we're talking about a woofer.
Yeah.
Dogs on the roof and Hattie Browns in general. I felt, because this is again part of our ongoing beer swap theme, right? This is the one that you brought because it was a local one to you. I was a bit like, this happens with some beers that we talk about. I go, hang on, this is embarrassing. I don't know who these guys are. Are they like a really cool, trendy brewery that Drabbers and Joe know, and I have to pretend I know who they are for a bit? I think I'm going to be let off here because this is like just a super local. Yeah. As I understand, not brewing, vast quantities that get sent up and down, around the world, like, and a massive macro brewer. This is one that's just an honest to goodness local brewer near you that just churns out really cracking beers, and we managed to get hold of some. Yeah, pretty much. So I got hold of them in a corner shop like a delicatessen corner shop near me called Charlbury Corner. Unfortunately, now closed down as of 3 days ago. Which is a real shame because they did have a. You know what? You remember that Argyle 69 I drank? That was also a local beer. Rings a bell. Yeah, yes. Possibly the worst beer I've ever drunk in my life. Also got that from there as well. But. I'm disappointed I'm not going to get to go to this shop at some point as well. These listeners are going to be on tenterhooks about what we think about this beer. Yeah. Anyway, but go on. So popped into Charlbury and they have their selection of, it is of course all Dorset local. It's everything in there is Dorset local, basically produce and everything like that. So this is Dorset local Swanage. I literally googled it before we came onto here, and it is a 36-minute drive for me to get to the brewery where Hattie Browns is brewed. So right on my doorstep. And as I said in the only question, the reason I was drawn to one, because I'm just a big fan of the label. I think it's incredibly simple. Yeah, simple but satisfying. Simple but satisfying. It's got a dog called Dog on the Roof, which I really liked. And it literally is a picture of a dog on a roof. What kind of dog is that? I think this is an Irish Terrier. That's it, an Irish Terrier. This beer is named after the Irish Terrier, and I had that little moment earlier on where I turned the bottle around like 180 degrees to go from the front label to the back, and I kept going back round to the front, and I was like, "Hang on." I kept going round. I've turned it over in my hand about 3 or 4 times, and they go. So interestingly, on the bottle, they don't tell you what kind of beer this is. It will tell you that it's a 6%. It will tell you that it's 500 mils. It will tell you the advice from the UK Chief Medical Officer. But can you discern from the bottle, Rich, what type of beer it is?
I didn't even realise that.
There you go.
I literally picked this beer out of the picture, and I had no clue what kind of beer it was.
No kidding. Yeah. I think we just talked before we came on, and you said, I think it's a stout.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, okay, stout is one I personally need to psych myself up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I took the top off, and I went, it doesn't smell like a stout. Started pouring it out, and it's this kind of amber golden colour. In fact, like a deep amber, I'd say. And I go, it doesn't look like a stout. And then I raised it to my lips, and there was, there was a hop profile there. It wasn't this dark, heavy thing, and I went, it doesn't taste like a stout. And the website then confirmed what I somewhat suspected, a mid-golden, they describe it as. Interesting that they describe it as mid for a beer that's 6%.
Well, I was going to say, it's pokey.
It's packing a punch, but I would say I would have thought I would kind of be going, a bit more, a 6%er, but it's still pretty pleasant, isn't it?
I'm generally, one still in shock, and I think more breweries should just do surprise beers. And literally you just do it on the name. You go, well, Dog on the Roof sounds pretty good, sort of thing. Like,
if you don't know what you're getting from Dog on the Roof, there's just no helping.
There's just no helping you. But I'm pleasantly surprised by this sort of thing, because I've not been. We've done a few. We did. Oh God, what's the brewery from Dorset? The big one, Badger Breweries. They've sent us some stuff in the past, and everything like that, and I've always been pleasantly surprised by that. But a few of the Dorset breweries I've had, and I've been a bit like, oh, these aren't too great. But Hattie Brown, I'm quite enjoying.
I'd say this is very solid. It stands up with I'd say other beers of its type. Although that said, actually, I probably would say I'm not sure that I've had that many sort of golden, because this is like an ale, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it stowed away in the fridge actually, and it probably could have done with coming up a little bit in terms of temperature. But this is real ale territory. And they do what do they do? There's an HBA. In fact, they've got some which are their core, always available. There's some that they do quite frequently. And I believe actually the Dog on the Roof is one of that group. So there's a couple that they also do just as an occasional beer that they say. But these are ales ultimately. And are you there, or have you gone?
No, still. I'm just having a ponder on their website, sort of thing, and just because I'm just enjoying their website a lot.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to say also basically they do, there is a porter in there, but they do, it's sort of foaming nut brown ales.
Yes.
That sort of thing, which is very up my street. I was curious as to whether they'd be popular with you. But yeah, this is a real solid beer, and I'd be keen to try the rest of them. Mustang Sally, for instance, is one that little 4.3. They're calling it American styled, a little bit lighter. I'd be really keen to give that a try. They've got the HBA is their best bitter.
Yeah,
HBA I'm just putting down as Hattie Brown's ale.
Have you?
Sorry,
I was going to say no. Have you seen their Scarlet Ale?
Scarlet Ale.
Yeah, 4.5%, bright red from adding beetroot to the boil. Otherwise, it's a well-balanced, slightly floral and earthy beer, but definitely red.
Okay.
So I think it's quite...
because I would give it a try. These days, I would give it a try.
Yeah. Beetroot
used to be the only thing that I would say I would not drink. I would not eat.
Yeah.
And I've always been quite proud of like that. I myself would consider myself not a fussy eater, and I eat everything. But it always used to be beetroot. It was like Satan's food, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That said, if you have it with the right thing, it's not too bad. A beer with a beetroot added to the boil. Okay, I'll try anything once.
Well, yeah, well, that's it. Well, we're a podcast called "I'll Try That," so I hope you would try it.
That's
the But also, we did drink a cucumber beer recently, didn't we? Which,
That's true.
In fact, that podcast is coming up. I'm editing that one tomorrow. So yeah, there is that episode is coming up. So you hopefully would have already listened to it.
So I think I ended up quite liking the cucumber beer, although I didn't expect to.
Yeah.
But sorry, there's a little suggestion from, and I don't want to be overcritical of Hattie Brown's website because they are ultimately, one of these cracking little local brewers, but also they've said, it was funny, I think you said it when you just gave the description, bright red from adding beetroot to the boil. Otherwise, it's well balanced, slightly floral and earthy beer. Just a bit like, I kind of want to go back to them and say, so you know that the beetroot wasn't a nice idea, but you did it. I would give it a go, but brewed in Swanage.
Yeah.
And if you got something that's being made just down the road from you, you got to give that a go, right?
Well, that's it. That's like, I believe, because we said we're going to do another beer swap when we come down and see you next month. So we're like, we're going to do another beer swap. This has worked really well. Saves us a lot of time and hassle and going out to buy beers all of the time, which I quite like. And I'm like, I think I've just got to do more local breweries because I've been doing a bit of research and there is so many little breweries all the way around near me. Sort of thing. So so of course I went to Poland recently, so I brought some beers back from there. Also bit of a spoiler. I was saying that do you remember, did you do Desperado with us?
I can't remember. That would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to think. But I also brought some of the weird, and I found one of the weird and special Desperados. But I think what I really want to do is kind of like bring back the more, dig it down and just find some more local stuff. Especially if it's as good as Hattie Brown's, I'm not going to lie.
Literally, this is half of this pint has disappeared. I don't know who's had it. It turns out it's me, which is maybe a little bit dangerous with 6%. But this is real solid. I should maybe have let it come up a little bit more to room temperature, but seeing it in the glass, it's quite easy on the eye. It's lovely. Little deep colour. It's not a fizzy one. It's it's an ale. It's not one of those heavily carbonated ones. But I was really in the mood for this. Maybe this is quite well set for the time of year. We are now into October.
Yeah, autumnal.
It's a little bit more of an autumnal one. To be honest, I could see it doing quite well in summer, basically. But it's nice and hoppy. I think, is it Challenger hops? Challenger and Sovereign hops. And again, I think I've mentioned possibly before, I kind of want to take all the fun out of beer drinking and actually plot a spreadsheet with different hops and how much I like the beer, just so I can identify which hops I particularly like. Because I basically just do that on like anecdotal evidence so far.
I like that.
I know, for instance, because we talked about Citra. We did Oakham Citra.
Yeah, Oakham Citra. Oh, yes.
And there's a few about with just Citra hops, and I go, yeah, that's not bad. Sovereign is the one I'm not clear on. I'm sure I've had Challenger in plenty of other beers.
Yeah.
And enjoyed them. And actually, I can't remember when else I've had a Sovereign hop. But this is lovely.
Well, I'll tell you what, my plan is to do some more homebrew. So, but I'll tell you what I'll do is I might make a couple of smaller batches and see if I can get some different hops, and we see if we can really taste the difference in them all, which I think will be quite good. And I might try and improve on the spicy beer as well. But that's a different podcast.
There was room for improvement on spicy beer, possibly.
Yeah.
I tell you, sorry. We should. This is an episode about Hattie Brown.
Yes, sorry.
We should talk about more. But just as a final, just a quick one. When we did a Stewart Brewing episode recently, and we had their affogato. I only came to drink that after the episode because I was drinking their lovely Oktoberfest or their Fest beer. And actually, I swear I got just a little fragrance of your spicy beer when I was drinking White Affogato. and I enjoyed both of them. So
Yeah, that's okay then.
Anyway, slight diver off of Hattie Brown's done. I know we're hosting in my neck of the woods for the next one, but I would go down and try and give Hattie Brown's a go on the basis of this. This is really enjoyable.
Well, I would. The trouble is, I don't think they're widely spread, Hattie Browns. I've never seen them anywhere other than the Charlbury Corner Shop.
Well, this is it. And you go on that website and they have actually just got a landline UK telephone number and a mobile number with someone's name. So if you want to go and get the beer, you can go up and talk to a human.
Yeah.
and try and get hold of some.
I can imagine this is in all the local pubs round Hattie Brown's, round where Hattie Brown's. I reckon if we went to Swanage and a few other places, we would be able to find it around there. Maybe that's what we'll do. Next time you guys come down, we will go. There's a couple of other breweries I want to go to that we're down here. I'll get Becca to drive us round, and we'll do like a pub crawl around all of the breweries.
Oh, so they're the first brewery actually located in Swanage for over 100 years.
Yeah, which I quite like.
Love that.
I think they started in 2015.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and they've picked a nice, charming old 200-year-old building. For anyone, I don't know Swanage that well, but this is like a nice little coastal area, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely little coastal area. Some nice coastline, nice little village,
and some hills in the back. So the sort of place that also dogs, the dog on the roof, presumably would absolutely adore. Basically, go and have a nice lengthy walk, and then go and sit in a pub and have a little.
I would.
On the roof.
I just want to bring it. Sorry to continue this going, but. It says, named after the Irish Terrier, strong, full of character, and irresistible. But the end bit goes, and I don't know if this is if anybody who has an Irish Terrier, is this a characteristic all Irish Terriers have, and often used to be seen on the roof? Like, I'm just... Is that what, when you go and get an Irish Terrier, they go, right, you've got to keep all the windows shut, because that guy's going to get on the roof. They just love it. They're always going.
I've had a recent battle with trying to get a dog off a sofa. How do you get your dog down off a roof?
Yeah, like I live in a third floor flat. Like it's
You walk past, just see a bloke in the street looking up at his house, going down.
Yeah,
get down.
Yeah. Well,
then you go Irish Terrier.
Irish Terrier. That's it. And the worst part is whenever I meet an Irish Terrier now, that's going to be the first thing I go to. And I go, but they have a problem getting them off the roof.
The dog, and actually, I'm thinking that they should have another beer called Fiddler. I don't know what Fiddler on the Roof was. Is that a musical?
Was it Cat on the Hot Fiddler on the Roof? Cat on the Hot Tin Roof is an expression. Fiddler on the Roof? Yeah. Is Fiddler on the Roof a musical?
I think possibly both of those are. I'm not very good on musicals because I'll be brutally honest, I hate them.
I only like Calamity Jane.
Never seen it.
You should, it's good.
All right. Well, should we bring that to a close then anyway?
Yeah.
We've really liked Hattie Brown's.
Yeah. Do they have Instagram? Because I would like to give them a shout out if they do.
You can hear me furiously
typing away. God, Joe's so much better at this than we are.
Yeah, he would have got this set up some time ago. They do.
Excellent.
Welcome to Hattie Brown's Brewery. I'm also going to do a little bit of getting ahead. Twitter.
How many followers?
Yes, Elon. We're still calling it Twitter. You steaming great something or other. Hattie Brown Brewery. Hold the line, caller.
That's all right. I'll wait. I would fill it with an amusing anecdote, but I've been really tired this week.
Yeah, you've already told yours.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not them.
No. Also sounds like a gangster, Hattie Brown.
Oh, yeah. Isn't there a film? No, there's Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown, yeah.
Hattie Brown's Brewery has 845.
Oh, excellent.
Instagram
That's good. I
followers.
like that. Yeah.
Considering we just talk about Fs that have got 2,000, I think you're going all right. Hattie
Yeah,
Brown's.
fair play, Hattie Brown.
There's a very good picture of what I think might be an Irish Terrier on a roof.
Oh. Is it there?
So-
do they have an Irish Terrier on a roof?
So, but only because I'm not 100% sure what an Irish Terrier looks like. I think what I'm looking at is an Irish Terrier.
Oh, excellent.
Here you go. I'll chat it at you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hold the line, caller. I've said that a second time now. And bear with me. We maybe have to just put Hattie Brown's Twitter followers on another episode because it does appear there are several people with Hattie Brown or Hattie Brown similar users.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah. Well, when we put this
845.
episode out, we will definitely tag them, and I might take Rolly down and swing down towards Hattie Brown and say we really enjoyed them. I'm going to go for a walk in the next couple of days down that way, I think.
Joe, I really like the Instagram actually because it is also about like they're showing you the people who make the beer, clearly the premises they make the beer on, and yeah, it's got a nice wholesome vibe there. Have a look at that because it's not necessarily a drink this beer and it'll make your life better. It's showing you the brewery and the people making the beer, so that's quite a nice touch, I think.
Is it people who just love beer who have gone, you know what, let's make some beer and we'll just keep doing it for a little while, kind of like a little bit of a hobby. And it's
yeah, exactly. And then if it turns into commercial success, love it.
Love it. Yeah. So drink Hattie Brown, follow them on Instagram, and order some. Get some Hattie Brown in your life is what I'm saying.
And that's all we have time for from this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe, Rich,
Barber,
and Simo.
goodbye. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter.
I'll try that podcast.com.
And watch us on YouTube.
goodbye now.